Hey there, it's Walter with political director Luke Warren. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I have a sense that you've been pretty busy.
Yes.
Yeah, and here's why. So there are 7 months till the midterm elections, but the reason Luke is busy is the National Committee PAC is endorsing candidates, and we're watching all sorts of races. And there was some very encouraging news this week for Democrats. There were some special elections, and then we'll get on to some primaries, right? But in Georgia this week, a Democratic candidate who was running to replace Marjorie Taylor Greene in deep red North Georgia actually came a lot closer than a Democrat has in that district for a long time. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. This is a very red seat, and when Marjorie Taylor Greene ran in 2024, she won it by 28%.
28%.
And the Republican this time around won it by 12. So another strong Democrat overperformance.
Okay, and what happened in Wisconsin this week?
In Wisconsin, there was a Supreme Court election, and in that race, the Democrat won by 20 points in a state that Trump carried twice.
Wow, okay. So in Georgia, the Democrats overperformed. In Wisconsin, they won by a wide margin. So it seems like if the election were held today, the Democrats would sweep back into power in the House and Senate by a wide margin. But it's not today. But how are the trends looking?
Yeah, well, I would say that they would win the House. The Senate is another question, just given that the map is a lot tougher. But yes, obviously, there is such a slim margin right now in the House. Democrats need to win 3 seats to win it back. And, average wave elections, you're going to win a lot more than that.
So, but what is going on? Like the public polling and the elections we've had so far in the off year seem to indicate that the Democrats have the wind at their back because of Trump, I guess. Like, what is it that's driving this?
Sure. Well, for one thing, Democrats are always fired up in the Trump era. Democrats love to go out and vote when Donald Trump is the president.
There you go.
So that is a big part of it, but that's not all of it. We're also seeing independents really sour on Donald Trump, and inflation and the economy remain their top issue. He came back into power promising he was going to lower prices on day one, and people are seeing him do things that make their own lives more expensive. So he's really bleeding with independents.
Affordability.
Exactly.
Okay. So Democrats always fired up when Trump is in office, and independents souring on him.
That's right.
Okay, you see that as the secret sauce.
Yes.
For November. Okay, thanks. So let's go through a couple of the primaries that'll be held in May, okay, which is coming up very soon, and take a look at what's going on there and what the significance might be. So could we start with Ohio?
So in Ohio, there is a special election in the Senate to fulfill the remainder of J.D. Vance's term. He had to leave to become vice president, unfortunately. So the governor appointed John Husted, who's running for re-election for, the remainder of these 2 years. And Sherrod Brown, who lost re-election to the Senate for a different seat in 24, is running again. Now, Sherrod Brown has won, I think, 3 times in Ohio, and he is probably the only Democrat who could put that race on the map, given how red Ohio is.
And you said John Husted, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he's the incumbent Republican appointed by the governor when J.D. Vance became vice president.
That's right.
And let's go back to Georgia for a hot second. So the National Committee PAC just endorsed Jon Ossoff for re-election.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So Ossoff is one of the real marquee races this year. It feels like Georgia's been at the center of the political map for 6 years, and that does not going to change anytime soon. He's been running a really incredibly strong campaign, and there is a really messy Republican primary to replace him. Donald Trump is not endorsed in that Republican primary.
Interesting.
I saw one Republican operative say that, if Jon Ossoff dreamed up how this primary would go,
it would go like this.
Exactly.
Okay. And when is that primary?
That primary is next month, but with the Republican primary, there is likely to be a runoff.
A runoff. Okay, so we won't know who the general candidate is for a while now.
Yeah.
We have been making the point now here at the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare that whoever is elected to this next Senate will decide the future of Social Security, because the trust fund of Social Security is projected to become depleted in the early 2030s if Congress does nothing to stop that, which we certainly hope they will. But this is going to be a key class of senators that's being elected, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's one reason we endorse John Ossoff.
Yes, he has a 100% record with us, was crucial in helping expand Medicare and Social Security benefits. So we need him back to decide what the future of your earned benefits are going to be.
Absolutely. And we'll be pushing that message a lot for the rest of this campaign. In Nebraska, I want to skip over to the House side for a minute. So there's a bellwether race in Nebraska in the district that includes Omaha. We have endorsed John Kavanaugh, but there is a tight primary battle going on. Why did we endorse Kavanaugh, and how is it looking there?
Well, Kavanaugh has really centered Social Security and Medicare and affordability in his campaign.
We like that.
And that's exactly what we're here for. He is running in a tight primary, but I will note it's very interesting. You know, this is a blue-leaning seat in Nebraska. Kamala Harris won it.
But a Republican holds it now.
A Republican holds it now.
Right.
But it's interesting because we're starting to see national dollars from Republicans try to meddle in the Nebraska primary. So they're putting out ads saying John Kavanaugh, he's a MAGA, he's with Donald Trump.
Oh, really?
To try to get Democrats to vote against him.
Oh, like a false flag operation type?
Which tells you that they think that John Kavanaugh is the tougher opponent to beat in the general election.
Interesting, a twist. Let's just talk about Democratic overconfidence, or the potential for Democratic overconfidence. Now, you and I and everybody who follows politics have been seeing all these articles in the media saying that the Democrats, like I said before, have the wind at their back, that Trump is basically gifting them this election by being so objectionable and by not doing what he was supposedly elected to do. Is there still a chance that Democrats could be overconfident?
Absolutely.
Always.
This is a very triggering conversation, I think.
Yeah,
Democrats
we're
being overconfident. You know, I remember 2016 when Donald Trump was unelectable. We know how that went. And then I also think, you know, to put the shoe on the other foot, I thought that in 2022 it was going to be a Democratic bloodbath. I thought it was going to be a Tea Party year, but Democrats had a historically great midterm election that year. So, you know, all the vibes can be going in one direction. You can be feeling confident, but what really does matter is what happens on election day. So please do not take anything for granted.
And again, you know, seniors don't always vote in their own interests. And we're urging seniors to support candidates that really do put their money where their mouth is and support Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So that's another thing you'll be hearing from us repeatedly. Before we go, Luke, I want to talk quickly about the SAVE Act. That is a voter suppression bill that Trump and the Republicans are pushing, and that might be part of a sneaky reconciliation package on Capitol Hill this summer. What is the danger that the SAVE Act poses to voters?
The danger is that it's going to disenfranchise millions of eligible voters, and under the Trojan horse of voter protection.
Right.
It will do no such thing. Our elections are already incredibly safe.
And run by the states.
And run by the states.
Yeah, quite well.
So this is really just an attempt to kick people off the ballot so that, you know, Donald Trump never has to worry about losing an election ever again, as he routinely says any chance he gets to. He says that after this passes, you won't ever have to vote again. It's just going to be all Republican.
So once again, the quiet part is said out loud.
That's right.
Okay. So SAVE Act, not a good piece of legislation. We have been lobbying against it. If you want to find out more about it, just go to our website and you can read about it in our blog. Follow us on social media, because we don't have time to go into all the details now, but it would be a big mess and a big hassle for voters.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, that's all the time we have, but thanks, Luke, for stopping by the studio.
Absolutely, anytime.
And you can follow the activities of us and our PAC at ncpssm.org and ncpssm.org/PAC. All right, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Walter.